Hello everyone, welcome to today's class of network theory. This is Mohammad Mazharul Haq and I am teaching you today notch filters and attenuators. So let us begin. A filter is an electrical circuit that is designed to pass a specified band of frequencies while attenuating all the signals outside that band. And it is a frequency selective circuit in one way. The filters are basically classified as active filters and passive filters. They are used in circuits which require a separation of signals according to their frequencies. They are widely used in communication and signal processing. Filters may be classified as either digital or analog. Digital filters are implemented using a digital computer or special purpose digital hardware. Analog filters may be classified as either passive or active and are usually implemented with RLC components and operational amplifiers. As we have seen, the commonly used filters are low pass filters, high pass filters, band pass filter, band reject filter, all pass filter, notch filter and comb filter. So we have studied all these filters already. Now we will study about the notch filter. What is a notch filter? A notch filter is a filter that contains one or more deep notches or ideally perfect nulls in its frequency response. Notch filters are useful in many applications where specific frequency components must be eliminated. So if you see this graph, you can understand that there is a notch in this particular graph. So it is the magnitude on the y-axis and x-axis is the frequency. So you can see the notch here. Okay. To create a null in the frequency response of a filter at a frequency omega naught, introduce a pair of complex conjugate zeros on the unit circle at an angle omega naught. Hence, the zeros are selected as z1 comma 2 is equal to e plus or minus j omega naught. Then the system function for the notch filter is h of z is equals to b naught into 1 minus e j omega naught z power minus 1 into 1 minus e minus j omega naught z power minus 1. So, h of z is equals to b naught into 1 minus 2 cos omega naught into z inverse plus z power minus 2 where b naught is the gain factor. So, this is the equation for finding out h of z. Now, the figure given below illustrates the magnitude response of a notch filter having a null at omega is equals to pi by 4. So, if you see this frequency response characteristics of a notch filter with a notch at omega is equals to pi by 4. So, if you see here the notch is appearing at pi by 4. So, f is equal to 1 by 8 and h of z is equal to g into 1 minus 2 cos omega naught z inverse plus z inverse 2. So, if you see here, there is a notch appearing at pi by 4 from this figure. At omega is equals to pi by 4, we are seeing a notch. Okay. Next, application of notch filter. Where it is used? In optics, notch filters are used in Raman spectroscopy, confocal or multi-photon microscopy, laser-based fluorescence instrumentation or other life science applications. So it has many applications like in communication also. Notch filters are used in for applications like elimination of 50 and 60 Hertz hum components to avoid interference of power frequency with communication channels. It is very widely used in communications to avoid the humming component, avoid the humming sounds which are interfering with the power frequency. Now, we will also see about the attenuators. What are attenuators? Attenuators are the passive devices. As we have seen the active devices and passive devices, attenuators are the passive devices. It is convenient to discuss them along with the decibels. Attenuators weaken or attenuate the high level output of a signal generator. For example, to provide a lower level signal for something like the antenna input of a sensitive radio receiver, the attenuator could be built into signal generator or be a standalone device. It could provide a fixed or adjustable amount of attenuation. An attenuator section can also provide isolation between a source and troublesome load. So if you see here, the attenuator is fixed between the source and the load here. So the input impedance is Z1 and the output is Z0. So in between these two impedance and the source, the attenuator is fixed. Now the constant impedance attenuator is matched to a source impedance Z1 and load impedance Z0. For radio frequency equipment, Z is 50 ohms. You have to remember this value for radio frequency equipment, the impedance value is 50 ohms. In the case of standalone attenuator, it must be placed in series between the signal source and the load by breaking open the signal path as shown in figure above. In addition, it must match both the source impedance Zi and load impedance Z0. While providing a specified amount of attenuation, in this section we will only consider the special and most common case where the source and load impedances are equal. Not considered in this section, unequal source and load impedances may be matched by attenuator section. There are two types of attenuators. In this we can see T attenuator and pi attenuator. T section and pi section attenuators are common forms of the attenuators, and they represent the configurations of T and pi networks shown in the above figure, and the multiple attenuator sections may be cascaded whenever weaker signals are needed, as in figure below. So the voltage ratios as used in design of attenuators are often expressed in terms of decibels. We know in the previous class about the decibels. So what is a decibel? It will be in the voltage ratio or current ratio. Voltage ratio as used in design of attenuators are often expressed in terms of decibels. The voltage ratio of K must be derived from the attenuation in decibels. Now the power ratios expressed as decibels are additive. For example, we take a 10 dB attenuator followed by a 6 dB attenuator provides 16 dB attenuation of overall. Now we see it, the changing sound levels are perceptible roughly proportional to the logarithm of power ratio Pi by P0. So sound level is P1 by P0 log base 10. So a change of 1 dB in sound level is barely perceptible to a listener, while 2 dB is readily perceptible. An attenuation of 3 dB corresponds to cutting power in half, while a gain of 3 dB corresponds to a doubling of the power level. A gain of minus 3 dB is the same of the attenuation of 3 dB, corresponding to half of the original power level. The power change in decibels in terms of power ratio is dB is equals to Pi by P0 10 log base 10. Assuming that the load Ri at Pi is the same as the load resistor at R0 at P0, so the decibels may be varied from the voltage ratio Vi by V0 or current ratio Ii by I0. So we can write the decibel formula as 10 log base 10 V square by V1 square by V2 square or V0 square by V1 square. Like we are taking the input and output Vi by V0 square also we can take here. The two most often used components of decibel equation are the power equation and the voltage equation, which are having power ratio and the voltage ratio. We will use in the later form, since we need the voltage ratio. Once again, the voltage ratio form of equation is only applicable where the two corresponding resistors are equal. That is, the source and load resistance need to be equal. Now students, we will do an example. Power into an attenuator is 10 watts. The power out is 1 watt. Find the attenuation in dB. dB is equals to log 10 base 10 Pi by P0. So the values given here is 10 and here it is 1. So Pi by P0 is equals to 10 by 1, that is equal to log 10 base 10. 10 log base 10 into 10, that is equal to 10 into 1. Why? Because 10 log base 10 is equals to 1. So the 10 dB is the attenuation provided for this example problem. Now we will talk about the T section attenuator. As we are discussing about T and pi section attenuators, let us first start about the T section attenuator. The T and pi attenuators must be connected as to a Z source and Z load impedance. The Z arrows pointing away from the attenuator in the figure below indicate this. The Z arrows pointing toward the attenuator indicates that impedance seen looking into the attenuator with a load Z on opposite end. So this impedance is constant, that is 50 ohms with respect to attenuation impedance, does not change when attenuation is changed. So we discussed already that Z should be kept as 50 ohms. Now we will talk about the table. The table in the figure below lists the resistor values of T and pi attenuators. To match a 50 ohm source or load as the usual requirement radio frequency work, okay, telephone utility and other audio work often requires matching of 600 ohms, multiply all R values by ratio 600 by 50 to correct the 600 ohm matching, and multiply by 75 by 50 would convert the table's value to match a 75 ohm source to a load. Now we will see in the table for what level of impedance, what is the attenuation, what are the values of resistors. So these value of resistors designed properly, the attenuation level will be attained perfectly. So dB is attenuation in decibels and Z is the source. So we will see now the Z is the constant for radio frequency values, that is Z is equal to 50. Now we will take the value of K is greater than 1. We know K is equal to Vi by V0, that is equal to 10 dB. Now R1 is equal to Z into K minus 1 by K plus 1, and R2 is equal to Z into 2K by K square minus 1 for the T attenuator. Now writing these formulas, we get the values here R1 and R2. Based upon this, we calculate the dB also. So dB is 1 dB, 2 dB, it ranges up to 20 dB. Okay. Now formulas for T-shape attenuator resistors are given. The K value of voltage attenuation ratio and Zi and Z0 is 50 ohms, as already said. The amount of attenuation is customarily specified in dB. Though we need the voltage or current ratio to find the resistor values from equations, see the dB by 20 term in the power of 10 term for computing the voltage ratio K from dB. Now here we have a look about the T and pi configurations about these attenuators. These attenuators of T and pi configurations are most commonly used as they provide bidirectional matching of the values. That is, the attenuator input and the output may be swapped end for end and still match the source and load impedances while supplying the same attenuation. Disconnecting the source and looking it into the right at Vi, we need to see a series of parallel combinations of R1, R2, R1 and Z looking like an equivalent resistance of Z input. Now impedance, input impedance is equals to Z in, that is equals to R1 plus R2 parallel to R1 plus Z. That is from the circuit we are calculating it. And for example, substituting the 10 dB values from 50 ohms attenuator table for R1 and R2, what we get here is, by using this formula, we get the certain value that is equal to 50 ohms. This shows us that we see 50 ohms looking right into the example attenuator with a 50 ohm load. Now replacing the source generator, disconnecting load Z at V0 and looking it to the left should give us the same equation as above for the impedance at V0. Due to symmetry, moreover the three resistors must be values which supply the required attenuation from input to output. This accomplished by equivalence R1 and R2 above as applied to the T attenuator below. If you see these, you can easily find out the R1, R2 and the values of Z. So 10 dB attenuators for matching input output is equal to Z is equal to 50 ohms. So this is the attenuator for 10 dB. 10 dB T section attenuator for insertion between a 50 ohm source and load. As we already said that the attenuator circuit should be fixed between the load and the source. So we are fixing these values of R1 and R2 in between the impedance and source. Having here Z and also Z at the input and output side, this complete circuit is called as the attenuator circuit, and it can be solved into series and parallel also to get a single component value. Okay. So students, I would like to end my class here, and we will discuss the next topic in the next class. Thank you. Now we will talk about the pi section attenuator. So the table in the figure below lists resistor values for the pi attenuator matching a 50 ohm source or load at some common attenuation levels. The resistors corresponding to other attenuation levels may be calculated from the equations. So as we have done in the T section filter, in the same way the resistors for pi section filter also designed now with the same value of the load impedance 50 ohms as we have calculated in the T attenuator. So the attenuation depends upon the K value and the dB value. Now if the dB value is 1.0, the same time the K is Vi by V naught, that is 1.12, and R3, R4 are given here, that is 5.77 and 869.55. The similar way we are making that as 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and depending upon the increase on order of the dB, the K value also changes and R3, R4 also changes. So like that, here if you observe, there is a pi shape, so we call it as a pi attenuator. Now the K value is the same as V1 by V naught, that is equal to 10 dB by 20, and R3 is equal to Z into K square minus 1 by 2K, and R4 is Z into K plus 1 by K minus 1. What resistor values would be required for both the pi attenuators of 10 dB of attenuation matching a 50 ohm source and load? So matching a 50 ohm source and load, we have the values of R4 96.2 and R3 as 71.2. From the calculations, we have seen that the values are R3 and R4. Okay. From this table, we have seen the values. Next is, if the 10 dB corresponds to voltage attenuation ratio of K is equal to 3.16, in the next to last line of the above table, the transfer the resistor values in that line to the resistors on the schematic diagram in the figure above. L section attenuator. So here also the table is given regarding the L section. So L section means you will be having a R5 and R6 in a L shape, so we call it as a L shape attenuator. Now the dB in attenuation in decibels is given here, the increasing order of from 1 to 20, and K value is calculated, and depending on that R5 and R6 also are given the values, and from that values we are going to calculate this K, R5 and R6 values we are putting in this table. So we understand here that the resistors what to be placed for different values of dB from the calculations we are going to understand here. Okay. So L section attenuated table for 50 ohm source and load impedance as given here, it is the L type attenuator. An alternate form of L section attenuated table for 50 ohm source and load impedance is also shown here. Now the bridge T attenuator. What is the bridge T attenuator? It is also having the bridge T shape of the active elements, that is the resistor, placed in a T network or in T shape to match the 50 ohm source and load. So we are here matching the 50 ohm source and load and calculating the values of the resistors given in the various configurations. So the bridge T attenuator is not often used. Why it is not used, we will see now. So these are the bridge T attenuator. If you can see here the figure, bridge T attenuator is nothing but a resistor is placed upon the series connection of Z and Z, that is R7 is placed here. So you can see here R7 is placed upon the T network. So that forms a bridge T attenuator, and from this the R6 and R7 values are to be found. So R6 and R7 values are given from Z by K minus 1. As the K value changes, automatically R6 and R7 value also keeps changing, and depending upon that we calculate the dB, that is attenuation in decibels. Okay, so these are interdependent. From the previous networks we have seen T section, pi section and L section, as well as the bridge network. So this bridge network, bridge T attenuator we can say, in short, the attenuation is here slowly starting from 1 to 20, and the K value, if you can see the first four values are 1.12, 1.26, 1.41 and 1.58, and drastically it has increased to 10 when it comes to a dB of 20 value. And reportedly, here you can see that R6 and R7 also depend on the dB and K value. If you see the K value, it depends on Vi by V0. So if a Vi by V0 keeps on changing from this bridge duty attenuator circuit, if you see Vi and V0 here, if these input and output voltages are going to change, it also may affect the attenuator, right? Because we have already told that it is nothing but attenuator is fixed between the source and the load. Whatever the configuration it is between the source and load, it mainly depends upon input and output and also the value of K. So next thing is the cascaded sections. What is a cascade section? Attenuator sections can be cascaded in the figure below for more attenuation than may be available from a single section. Cascading nothing but adding. Like you are having a single section of attenuator, then it will be having very less effect. If you are adding some type of attenuations or a different type of attenuations in cascade connection, then the number of connections increases or the number of configuration increases, and therefore we will get a good impact on that. So for example, two 10 dB attenuators may be cascaded to provide a 20 dB of attenuation. The dB values being additive, the voltage attenuation ratio K or Vi by V0 for a 10 dB attenuator section is given here. That is 3.16 value. The voltage attenuation ratio for two cascaded sections is the product of two K values. And you can write product of 2 means 3.16 into 3.16, and approximately it is treated as 10 for the two cascaded connections. So voltage attenuation ratio is product, and the dBs can be added. So they are additive. 10 dB and 10 dB attenuators can be made for 20 dB attenuation, and also the K value will be the product. If it should be noted down that the K values should be multiplied to get the two cascaded connections. So here is a simple figure showing you section 1 and section 2 of the two networks, T networks, which are added. So you can see here these two are T networks which are added, and we can call it as a cascade connection. It is looking like a pi connection. The cascade attenuator sections, dB attenuator is additive. Variable attenuation can be provided in discrete steps by a switched attenuator. Switch attenuator means we provide a switch here which will allow to cascade or uncascade. So we can have the attenuation as a more value, or attenuation is also can be a less value depending upon the requirement. So the example figure shown in the 0 dB position is capable of 0 through 7 dB of attenuation by additive switching of none or one or more sections. Okay. So if you see here this in this figure, 4 dB, 2 dB and 1 dB attenuators are cascaded, and the switch is also provided here. If you see the switches, there are switches provided S1, S2 and S3. When these S1, S2 are connected to each other, it is the 6 dB. And if you are wanting one more dB, then what you can do is you can add this also. So switched attenuator, we call it as a switched attenuator because attenuation is variable in discrete steps. Whatever attenuation we want, we can apply the switch, and we can see that they are happening in a discrete steps. Like discrete steps means it will be according to our requirement, we are having the discrete steps for this attenuation. The typical multi-section attenuator has more sections than the above figure shows. It is an example of only 3, but the multi-section attenuator has more than these 3 sections. It may be 3 or 8 dB sections. Above enables the unit to convert 10 dB and beyond. Lower signal levels are achieved by the addition of 10 dB and 20 dB sections. So make a point here, lower signal levels are achieved by addition of 10 dB and 20 dB sections or a binary multiple 16 dB section. So students, we have studied in this class about the L type and also the bridged network and also the T type attenuations and different level of attenuations and cascade attenuations. So I would like to end the class here, and in the next class we will discuss about the next topic. Thank you.